Most people think an apology is meant to repair something, to take responsibility, to close a gap. But if you've ever felt unsettled after someone apologized to you, there's a reason for that. Some apologies aren't there to fix harm. They're there to manage you, not loudly, not obviously, quietly. This video is about when apologies become another control move. Not the obvious fake ones. The subtle, convincing ones that leave you doubting your own reaction. And if this lands close to home, it doesn't mean you're cynical or stuck in the past. It means you've started paying attention to what happens after the apology, not just the words themselves. Because an apology isn't defined by what's said. It's defined by what changes, or what doesn't. Let's start with the first pattern. The apology that centers the speaker, not the impact. This is the apology that sounds sincere on the surface. The right words, the right tone. I'm sorry you felt that way. I didn't mean to upset you. I hate that this caused problems. The mechanism here is subtle redirection. The focus shifts away from what happened and onto the speaker's intention or discomfort. Nothing is technically denied, but nothing is owned either. The internal cost shows up quietly. You start softening your response. You reassure them. You move on without clarity. And later, when the same behavior repeats, it feels harder to bring up. Because didn't they already apologize? The second pattern looks more responsible on the surface. The apology without repair. This one sounds clearer. I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I apologize, but nothing actually changes. The same boundaries are crossed. The same dynamics reappear, the same conversations loop. The mechanism here is symbolic compliance. Words are used as a substitute for behavioral change. Psychologically, this works because humans are wired to treat apologies as closures. Once an apology is given, the pressure to move on shifts to the listener. The internal cost is erosion. You start questioning whether expecting change is unreasonable. You lower your expectations instead of raising the standard. If this is landing, stay with me. The next part explains why these apologies can feel so convincing in the moment. The third pattern is the most destabilizing. The apology that creates guilt. This is where the apology comes wrapped in vulnerability. I feel terrible about this. I've been so stressed. I'm beating myself up already. The mechanism here is emotional inversion. The person who caused harm becomes the one who needs care. Your role subtly shifts from holding a boundary to managing their emotional state. The internal cost is confusion. You feel selfish for still being affected. You feel harsh for wanting accountability. Over time, you stop raising issues at all, not because they're resolved, but because the emotional fallout feels heavier than staying silent. Now here's the deeper reframe that ties all of this together. An apology is not a moral act. It's a functional one. Its purpose isn't to sound right. It's to restore balance. In healthy situations, that balance comes from accountability, adjustment, and consistency over time. In controlling dynamics, apologies are used to reset the environment without changing the structure. The words smooth the surface. The power stays exactly where it was. This is why some apologies leave you calmer, and others leave you smaller. It's not about whether the apology was real. It's about whether it required anything of the person offering it. Change is effort. Apologies are cheap. And the quiet truth underneath all of this is simple. You're not asking too much by expecting repair. You're noticing when words are being used to end a conversation instead of resolve it. That awareness usually comes late, after you've given the benefit of the doubt more than once, after you've tried to be fair. If you're recognizing this now, that's not bitterness, that's discernment. This work builds in layers. What you've just heard sits early in that sequence. The next video looks at what happens when control doesn't need apologies at all. And if this way of breaking things down is useful, there's more of it here.